My name is Pace Johnson. I was introduced to Doug and Kulungu for Congo back in 2015. When we met, I was just so naturally drawn to his passion to give back to Congo. I didn't want to just sit back knowing what was out there or knowing the need. After talking to Doug, after talking to other people who had been on trips like this, hearing that drove me to the place of, and the only option is for me to go. We had planned this trip to be there for about 10 days and spend half the time in the main city of Kinshasa, and the other half kind of in the middle of the trip we were going to spend going around the Bandundu, which is the area where it was, village after village every 5-10 miles. Even just right as we got on the road to head from Kinshasa to Kinshasa, we went out of the city into an area that had no paved roads, right? So there's no roads at all. We're pretty much carving the path, essentially. And, and then we'd hit a village, and the village was, there's no infrastructure. We're talking huts and rooms and buildings built out of mud and sticks. Once we got into the village of Kinshasa, they were all very receiving of us. They were very welcoming. When we were there, though, I did know, just in the back of my mind, like we're here on a mission, right? We're here to talk to the people, to see and to ask, what are their greatest needs? What are you guys just day to day feel like you need? That maybe we feel like the Lord is using us to help provide something. When we got there, we knew water was going to be a need. When we were driving along all of these villages, I'm seeing people walk on the side of the road with big gallon jugs on their head. They're carrying water back to their home, and where are they getting that from? And so there's obviously places along the country where there's water naturally coming out. Well, it's not a filtered faucet in most of these areas, right? They're traveling down into a creek to get water and just fish it out, or a pool where water's coming out of the ground. Where we were staying in Kinshasa, which is just a little hut that they had prepared for us to sleep in, we gathered on a morning, and we walked maybe less than 3 miles, but it was just a little bit down the hill, and in the distance I saw just this big pool, this big area where there was kind of a cement structure, but there was water coming out of this pipe. It wasn't by any means like a special well, but it was a piece in the ground that was spitting out water. And people were carrying jugs and liter jugs, 5-gallon jugs, big jugs, putting them on their head, walking them back up the hill. But what was also happening down in this pool where people were scooping up water into these jugs is they also used this spot to bathe. My perspective was so opened up during that time. I think we take this idea of fresh water for granted. As a board and as a team, when we've sat down and talked about this project, we're gonna do everything that we can in order to keep pushing to try to raise the funds that it's going to take to get this equipment there, to network with the people in order to build the team who's going to manage, or who's going to build and manage these wells. Seeing the terrain, seeing the quality of the roads. There's no electricity. There's hardly any resources at or around these where we're trying to build the wells. And so the only option for us to go and do this project is to buy stuff and have equipment to be able to up and transplant the next place. And so you need the same equipment to build 5 wells as you do 200. This project, it may seem big on paper looking at the dollar amount or what it's going to take to get the equipment there, but honestly, it's not that big of a project compared to what I know God can do.